I don't know if this is true, but I heard this morning that these past 4 years saw the largest mass migration in human history. So I just did a quick Google search, the largest migration in history. It says UNHCR estimates 14 million Hindus, Sikhs, and Muslims were displaced during the partition of India. They're estimating now, 15 million coming to the United States in the Biden administration?
Yeah, and when we went to Guatemala. I went with Jenny Traer, who was working at the Caller at the time, and we went to the Honduran border on the south, and the people that were coming over were not South. I mean, there were a lot of Colombians, a lot of Venezuelans, but these were people from Africa. I interviewed like a group of 20 Afghanis who had come over, and they go through Brazil, then they go up through the Darien Gap in Panama. And it's amazing to see over the course of just, because I was at the border during the Trump administration, it was all Central and South Americans. And now it's people from everywhere. And Lord knows like what these people, there's no background check. There's no way of knowing who they are. They don't even need IDs to get into the country.
I reported on the wall down at Yuma.
Yeah.
And I was getting letters from border agents who were like, we've been told just to stand down.
Yeah.
And they were saying this is an intentional collapse. And you can see at the border, at least where I was, they're just throwing their IDs out. It's like a landfill.
Yeah, they throw them right
of IDs,
before.
and they're from
Exactly.
everywhere.
Yep.
Currency, all types of stuff. And then the agents are just letting it go down for sure. Like that's what I literally saw. These people are walking up there with those little ladders. You see those little ladders?
Yes,
they make?
yeah.
And then
I tried to climb the border wall. It wasn't successful.
It's tall.
It is. It's a scary thing if you're
It is
up
a
there.
beautiful wall.
Yeah, and it does have slats. It does have slats.
It's tough, but they make these like makeshift ladders.
Yeah.
And they just come on over.
Here's the thing, and it's funny if you rewind back like to all the anti-Trump media during when Trump was trying to build the wall. They're like, $30 billion, it's way too much money. And now we're looking at like $30 billion is like I would spend $2 at a coffee shop. Yeah. And every single border agent that I talked to, hundreds, said the border wall would tremendously help with our effort. Because if you can just drive a vehicle straight over the border and then drive back, like, okay, a wall is going to make that a little bit harder. Yeah. Everyone's like, you could dig tunnels. It's like, okay, but it's harder to dig a tunnel than it is to drive a car across.
Right. And also in Yuma, there's a reservation right next to it.
Yes, that's where everyone goes. That's exactly right.
Just walk up to the wall and go.
I literally flew a drone right over that reservation.
Wild.
Yeah.
Or as James O'Keefe found, while they were trying to cut through the wall, there was a Border Patrol agent just sitting there watching and doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like soft TSA. Because you show up, they got tags for your luggage. Yep. They got a van waiting for you. Yeah. They got bottles of water. The porta potty's right there.
There's nonprofits who are all putting you up in housing, and then they're putting you on a plane
for the plane. Yep.
Yes,
exactly, dude. It's insane.
You know, I need this question answered because I've been very critical of CBP for a long time for facilitating child sex trafficking. It's disgusting.
Yep.
It is an atrocity. And the question right now is, all of that, of course, persists. I want answers. I think Trump should arrest those agents who knew what they were doing. I don't care. Anybody who dares come to me and says they were just following orders. When these agents see the number on the little girl's arm, a little boy's arm, and they know what they're doing, I don't care who you think you are following orders. You facilitate trafficking. You are the trafficker. You go to jail for that. But I digress.
Well, look what happened to the border agents who were actually trying to stop people in Texas, and they were whipping the migrants, and so that's what happens to people who try to stand up.
Do the right thing. Trump's coming in 36 days. The question I have now is, who are these agents who are facilitating the sale of our border wall? In 36 days or less, Donald Trump is going to be in office and he's going to be saying, I want my wall back. These guys know this. They know the American people voted for a secure border. They know that Donald Trump is coming in a month and wants a secure border. And they're saying, well, I'm ordered to sell off the wall. Better start doing it.
It's Mayorkas. I mean, I talked to Rodney Scott, who was the chief of the Border Patrol during the Trump years, and he was as pro-wall as anybody has ever been. And so Biden came in and he switched out the leadership, and he ensured that they were people who, shared, I guess it's not even his view, but the view of whatever people are trying to sabotage our country.
I think any Border Patrol agent that in any way helps facilitate the sale of these walls should be terminated immediately by Donald Trump once he gets into office. He should be going to whoever's running Border Patrol and say, who are the guys that were helping Biden sell off the wall? Was it you? I don't care if you're an entry-level, lowest-level guy, all the way to the top. Fire all of them.
There's 26,000.
But it's gonna be like a dozen or so that are part of this sale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like thousands of them.
Yeah, well, because there's CBP, which is the Customs and Border Protection. That's the ports of entry, like airports and all that. Right. Border Patrol is actually, CBP is like twice as big. as the Border Patrol,
Well,
which is crazy to me.
I believe
as well.
CBP is overseeing the sale. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But let's just say this. If I'm getting the agency wrong, forgive me. CBP was involved in the trafficking. Any federal worker anywhere that is helping Biden sell off the wall should be terminated immediately. Now, don't get me wrong. Doge is going to fire a lot of these people as it is. I'm excited for that. I also just want to give a shout out to Elon Musk for actually getting a department called Doge.
Yes, Dogecoin is bumping. In 2018, I was like, Doge, it's gonna bump. QAnon and Doge, those both are gonna bump.
Do you think they're selling off the wall to try to make it look like the Berlin Wall pieces? Like, is this their thing? Is that what they're?
I think they're sabotaging the country.
Yeah, but that for sure.
Why don't you put up some border wall around the compound?
I was like, I'll buy some. You know, why not?
That would be kind of sick.
It's tough. I tried climbing it. It is not easy. It's not easy.
No, I mean, if you bought some actual border wall and put it up around here and was like, no, it's legit part of the border wall that Biden was auctioning off.
The wall does go down. Like
Yeah.
it goes down like 10 feet. And then also they have, well, everyone's like, oh, you can just cut through it. They have motion sensors. So if somebody is cutting through it, they can pick up on.
Well, it's steel concrete with rebar in the
Yes,
concrete. So
they pour concrete into
Right.
the actual steel. Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty beefy thing. That's why it's
Yeah.
ridiculous they're selling it off.
Yeah.
But I hope these guys get fired, and I hope they regret it.
In Yuma, they had the double wall. So they had a wall, and then they had another wall. So then there's a corridor that the Border Patrol can travel through.
And the canal.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
yes.
Not a canal, but like a.
Well, that's the Rio Grande, and then
but
yeah,
there it is. Yeah.
Well, I think the big mistake Trump made was not bringing the alligators into the river.
Oh, that was
Honestly.
They should, like anyone.
I think he was joking about that, but the media reported like he was serious. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.